69 deaths. It's also spending $575 million to settle most of the outstanding civil lawsuits it faces over that scandal. No change in interest rates from the Federal Reserve, citing worries about global economic growth, but Fed Chair Janet Yellen says a rate hike could still happen this year, but only unless the labor market improves and inflation moves closer to the Fed's target of 2%. With that, the Dow today fell 65 points, the Nasdaq, though, up 4, and oil at $47 a barrel. Realty Track says foreclosures in August down 6%, but bank repossessions were higher. And new home construction took a pause last month, down 3%, but permits for future building up 3.5%. Tom Busby, CNBC.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
Walmart can help you stay one step ahead of flu season. Because at Walmart, you can get your flu shot anytime from one of our certified pharmacists. No appointment necessary. And while you're in the store, pick up Lysol disinfecting wipes and Lysol disinfectant spray that actually kill cold and flu viruses and antibiotic-resistant bacteria. These are steps you can take right now at Walmart to help prevent the flu from getting to you.
Some immunizations may not be available in all locations due to state law restrictions on pharmacist-administered immunizations. Age restrictions may apply. Use all products as directed.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
And good afternoon. 4:03 is the time. I'm Di Rice with the very latest in live local news here on KCAA 1050 AM. Today, 42-year-old Jason Ernest Johnson was taken into custody by deputies at about 1:30 this morning in the 2000 block of Adams Street in Riverside concerning Sunday morning's break-in at the Jurupa Valley Animal Shelter that ended in the death of 4 dogs and the disappearance of several others. Shelter employees arrived to find some 22 kennels locks broken and 2 dogs dead. Blood was splattered on the wall and pooled on the floor. At least 2 dogs were fatally hit by cars after the break-in. Several were found and others remain missing. Johnson was on probation in Riverside County in connection with drug charges. And San Bernardino is the last of 6 Southern California counties to experience the rapid post-recession rise in home prices. CoreLogic says the average sale price of a new or previously lived-in home in San Bernardino County hit $270,000 in August, a 12.5% increase in just 12 months. In neighboring Riverside County, the increase was a modest 5.4, rising to $315. By comparison, the median sales price for Southern California last month, $438,000. The latest figures released Wednesday cap a rise that began in January of 2012. Inland Empire weather. Some hazy sunshine out there today and nothing but sunshine tomorrow, with highs tomorrow about 90 degrees, overnight lows 61. Currently it's 82 in San Bernardino. Checking out your drive. Not a whole lot going on out there, so that's good news. You do have a little stop and go on the 15 northbound between the 60 and Jurupa Street. Through the Cajon Pass, the normal slow and go on the southbound side between Oak Hill Road and the 138. And this report has been brought to you by Paula Casino Spa and Resort. Now open at Paula Casino Spa and Resort Cave. It's a wine cave. It's a wine cave lounge and dining experience you'll have to see to believe. Visit paulacasino.com to learn more. Next, it is the Drive Time Show with POORMAN. KCAA 1050 AM.
Art Bell is back, and KCAA is his home in the Inland Empire.
There are a lot of people who think that we are Martians, that there's a strong possibility that we are Martians. That's why I said us. No, I'm serious. There was a civilization on Mars. That life had been us or our ancestors.
Nobody is more captivating than Art Bell.
Now, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there is something here that defies logical explanation.
Tune into the best, Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell.
The only way you're going to get the American people to pony up the billions of dollars, however many hundreds of billions it would be to go to Mars, the only way you're going to get them to do that is to convince them that we have a real reason to go. Want to take a ride?
Art Bell is back, and KCAA is his Inland Empire home. Weekdays 9 to midnight on KCAA 1050 AM. Get ready for Drive Time with the Poor Man. Starting now.
And the disaster begins. Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, the Poor Man. Welcome to another Drive Time with the Poor Man. That's the name of our new show because we're on during afternoon drive. Today, a very interesting show. We are going to be later on in the hour having on attorney Michael Brown presenting another edition of Laws of the Absurd, where he tells you about the most ridiculous laws in the United States and, for that matter, the entire world. Then I didn't think it could possibly come back for a second day in a row. I thought, okay, one day of this, it was cute, it was fun, but due to circumstances behind the scenes, I have to bring it back again today. It'll be another edition of, our second edition actually, of Hater Bro. That's right. It will star some of the most fabulous haters that are anywhere associated in my life. But in this particular case, I am very humbled that they will be on my show. So today, if you want to let everybody know what Hater Bro is going to be about, it will star the drunk. That's right, the drunk air personality. It will also star the backstabbing surf reporter. And it'll also star the slick ripoff artist, Mr. Announcer. So that's coming up later on in Hater Bro. But right now, what really fires me up is that every day we have a YouTube star on the program, and we are terming ourselves the official radio station of YouTube. Like, we're a regular mainstream radio station, but I absolutely love interviewing the YouTube radio personalities. And especially lately, we've got all kinds of conspiracy theory stars that are coming on the program. It's funny we hear Art Bell right before we're doing that as well, because he's, of course, done that for years. But really some fascinating people have been on here. And today, we're not sparing any expense on this one. And hit the music, please, will you? This air personality from YouTube, he is called Professor Doom. And it is my intense pleasure to welcome to the airwaves the professor himself. Greetings.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm great, and I'm really excited to have you on. You have 40,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I believe since you joined in 2014, almost 8 million views of your videos. And I know you posted a video about coming on our show today, and that one has 1,000 to 2,000 views in just a couple hours. So congrats on what you're doing. And for those people who want to go to YouTube and check out Professor Doom, I guess it's Professor-Doom 1, right? Is that correct?
No, it's Professor Space Doom 1.
Okay. And I guess on your YouTube, you can correct me, obviously, it says, I cover just about everything that will expose this tyrannical government for what they really are. And I'm guessing you mean the United States government, correct?
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, although most of them out there are pretty much tyrannical, I focus on the one that is the worst.
Okay. And before you focus and we get into it, a little lower on the music, please. Thank you very much. So tell us what is concerning you about the U.S. government right now, Professor Doom. What is the biggest topic that you're into?
Well, first of all, really quick, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the YouTube community, because I know you said that you were having some YouTube stars on here. You know, there's a lot of stars that that are out there putting in a lot of work that don't get the recognition that they deserve, and really, I'd like to give a round for them, because without them, a lot of stuff would go unnoticed. So I like to think of it as a group of people in coordination, making discoveries, research, great detective work. And that's what's going to lead me into what I wanted to talk about is the conspiracy theorist. There's this label that's being applied to a person who does the exact same work that a homicide detective will do, right? The same techniques, the same criteria that they use. And I'll give you an example. And they will label us conspiracy theorists. It's a mind game, right? So let me give you an example. Just about 2 or 3 months ago, there was an incident that took place at the front of the White House, right? There was surveillance camera footage of the incident regarding Secret Service and a bomb and some drunk individuals, right? They had the surveillance camera rolling, and they brought it onto the news and showed you exactly what happened, right? They wanted you to see it. Well, here's the mind game. They call the 9/11 truthers, they call them conspiracy theorists. But they'll ask yourself this question. Why would the Pentagon, having 13 surveillance cameras, not have one camera image of a plane striking the building? Why would federal agents go around to all surrounding businesses in that area and confiscate all surveillance footage to make sure that you're not going to see a plane not hitting the building? So it's a mind game. They will put something out there because they want you to believe it's true.
So you're saying, Professor Doom, sorry to interrupt you. What you're saying is that the plane during 9/11/2001 that crashed into the Pentagon, you feel that never occurred, even though we saw wreckage of the Pentagon after the fact, or we thought we did.
Right? Did you hear any of the reporters when they were reporting talking about? I don't see how a plane could have fit in there, or I don't see any wreckage of the plane. Did you ever hear any of that? Did you investigate or no? That they're out there. All you have to do is go out there and research, and you will find that there are media reporters stating that where's the evidence of a plane hitting it? See, that's the mind game. They want you to believe that it happened, and they will tell you that it's there, but did you see it? Were you there? See, that's the whole point. Now, watch out. Here's my other example. Here is this. Let's take a husband and wife. They call the police and say that their child is missing from their house. And then they will go before, the press, and they'll have a press conference. And then the police will come out later and say, we're focusing on the parents because they didn't display any kind of emotion whatsoever. Plus, it appears that the crime scene of where their child went missing seems to be staged, right? And the detectives, the police department will tell you that's the reason why we're going after them. They showed no emotion. The crime scene seemed staged. When we do it and use the exact same criteria and state, look at this. This person just lost a loved one. They come on on TV, and what is the first thing they state? What's the first thing you start talking about? We need to get the guns away from the American people because there's people out there with mental health issues, blah, blah, blah. They're preoccupied with gun control, and that's one of the criteria that homicide detectives use too. Are they preoccupied with something else other than grieving? Wouldn't you go on there and go, man, I'm not going to, I'm not going to be able to spend another birthday with my child or another Christmas or, and a tear flowing out there? Nothing. That's the exact same thing that we do. But the mind game is that when we do it and try to expose the people that are doing it, we get labeled a conspiracy theorist. Well, I hate to tell you, your homicide detectives are some of the biggest conspiracy theorists out there. That's how they operate, is on a theory. That's what they do. If they don't.
Yeah, Professor Doom, also in carrying that forward, you say that shooting that just happened a little over a month and a half ago in Roanoke, Virginia, with the reporter Allison Parker and her cameraman Adam Ward, that were actually live on a morning TV show, and they were shot and killed live on TV by a former employee, Vester Lee Flanagan. You think that never really happened. I've seen your videos. Is that correct?
Watch, it is, and let me explain something to you. If you look at both points of view here, just for a second, you have the shooter walking up the walkway in the planks, and you can hear the noise being made from his camera. And he's making the noise as he goes along, but there's no heads being turned to see who's walking up. You can actually see a quick glance from the female reporter. I mean, she would have recognized him if she worked with him before. Why didn't the cameraman, still holding the camera, turn around and look to see who was walking up behind him? That didn't happen.
Why?
The other thing is that why would Vester Flanagan, being in the broadcasting business, why would he wait for the cameraman to turn the camera on the two reporters, knowing full well that the all broadcasters have, how many second delay is it? Isn't it a 10-second FCC regulated delay? What made him think that they were actually going to air that shooting on TV? It should have been stopped with the delay. Now there are people in that area that they could argue, wait a minute, you let that play through and I just watched somebody killed and now I'm mentally screwed up. I'm going to sue you. So the thing is it doesn't make sense that Vester Flanagan would wait until that camera gets turned to them, knowing full well that they should have stopped that from airing with the delay. There is many other questions, like if you look at Vester Flanagan as he's walking in his point of view with the camera, you can see that the cameraman, Adam Ward, has the camera focused right over the edge and not at Mrs. Vicki Garner, who's being interviewed. Tell me, why didn't Vicki Garner even acknowledge the fact that Vester Flanagan was walking their direction? And that didn't alarm her at all? Some big black guy walking, holding a camera, filming them, and she took no notice? I don't know. She claims that I couldn't see because there was a light from the camera of Adam Ward that was holding, but that's not true because the camera wasn't even focused in her face.
Professor Doom, we're going to take a break right now, but when we come back, I want you to explain to everybody that shooting of the reporter in Virginia that occurred a month and a half ago, what really happened, and you're claiming the shooting never happened. So we're with Professor Doom, YouTube star Professor Doom. You can go to Professor Space Doom 1 on YouTube and see all of his videos, and we'll get into more of that right after this.
Okay, everybody, I have a major announcement. It's going to be another infamous, crazy, wild Poor Man Party. Friday night, October 2nd. Mark that down on your calendar in the city of Anaheim at Felipe's Bar and Grill, the first ever Poor Man's Pool Party. Yes, this is all going to be going down, an indoor pool party, bikinis, craziness, wildness, water, drinks, DJs, everything's going to be happening, and everybody is invited. I'm totally stoked, totally excited. The owner, Phil, you thought of this? How did you come up with this incredible idea?
It was a brainchild of mine for a little while.
Friday night, October 2nd, Felipe's Bar and Grill, 2751 West Lincoln Avenue in Anaheim. We will see you there.
I want everybody to come having a great time with me and the Poor Man.
If you'd like to talk to the poor man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the Poor Man coming up.
When was the last time you treated your taste buds to a party they won't forget? Now's the time with Stella Rosa Prosecco, the bubbly, intense, flavorful, and delicious sparkling white wine. Stella Rosa has edged out the imitators, becoming the sparkling queen of the party. So get to your local fine retailer and find out for yourself what all the fuss is about. You'll be more than satisfied with selecting the best in sparkling wines. Get the party started and celebrate. You'll be glad you did.
Have a question or a comment? Be sure to tweet the Poor Man at PoorMan1. That's the Twitter account. So tweet the Poor Man, and better yet, follow the Poor Man on Twitter at PoorMan1.
And we are back here on Drive Time with the Poor Man. And on the line right now is YouTube star Professor Doom, who basically tries to uncover and expose the United States government for the tyrannical people they really are. And we've been just discussing right before the break that the shooting of that reporter live on television and her cameraman didn't really ever happen. And Professor Doom, I would think a lot of people probably, and again, I say this out of total respect for you, but I would think a lot of people might say, oh, this is ridiculous. Of course she got shot. And they might think you're crazy. I'm sure you get that all the time. And in this particular case, did you get some grief for exposing this story? And how do you know it's true that they really were actors, supposedly, I guess, right?
Well, no, they're actually, they were real, they're real workers at the station. That's obvious. We can track Mrs. Allison Parker's work history in Adam Ward, and even Vicki Garner. It appears that she works for the Commerce District right there. The thing is that I think I could best explain it this way. Has anybody noticed that there has been a big, huge push for gun control? And they are using, instead of the same way that either China did it back in, the 1940s, 1950s, and so on, or the way Germany did it, or the way Russia did it, they're trying a different tact. It's the shock and awe. That's what I like to call it, the shock and awe. And do they put these workers up in a different place after they've paid them millions and millions of dollars? Is it because there is something huge getting ready to hit the United States, and after it hits, it ain't going to matter after that? I don't really know. All I can tell you is that if I approach this the exact same way a homicide detective would, and he would look at it, and there's people coming out of the woodwork right now after this incident happened, and they're being accused now of being a conspiracy theorist. So let's take the guys at the radio station, the Cracker Barrel. Never had been accused of being a conspiracy theorist ever before. They come out and say, "Oh, I saw the shooter's point of view, the video that he put up, and this is absolute garbage. This was a hoax, 100%." And then they're getting suspended from their job. So there's people now that are like seeing it for what it really is. But the thing is now that you've seen that, are you going to go back to all of the stuff that we've covered before and go, okay, this guy did a video on Sandy Hook. This guy did a video on the Charleston, South Carolina. Are they right? Is this true? Is this what our government is doing? Is setting up these FEMA, Department of Homeland Security exercises where they pretend to off people just to cause a racial war or a confiscation of guns through legislation or whatever the case may be? But all I know is with this last incident where they really screwed up, there's a lot of people that are seeing the light now.
And you think the reason all these things are happening is because the government wants to take guns away from the people?
I'm left with very few options left for the true purpose of why they're doing it. I know they're doing it. That's a given. There's no doubt in my mind about it. But now the part about why that they're doing it, is it about taking the guns out of the streets? Is it about possibly something's coming and our government knows it, but they don't want to alert us to it? So they're doing this with the shock and awe and making you think they're going to take the guns, so everybody will rush out there and go get a gun before they stop selling them? I don't know. I don't know. It could be either one of those two things.
Hey,
Just
Professor
keeping it honest
Doom.
with you.
Professor Doom, sorry to interrupt you. We just got a couple minutes, but I want to also, you mentioned something real quickly about this meteor that some people are saying we're going to have a meteor hit the Earth on the 23rd, which is next Wednesday.
Right.
And do you believe that a meteor is going to hit the Earth? And what do you think the government is doing about that?
Well, now as far as a meteor hitting, I like to look at the evidence that we have. Of course, if you have a government-controlled monitoring system for the asteroid and they're not providing us any information, I don't have any way to say one way or the other whether a meteor is really going to hit. I use clues from some of the stuff that I see that they're trying to tell us that something's coming, and yes, I do that. But to say 100% that I have the evidence that it's going to hit, no, I can't do that. What is the government prepping? What is all of the governments around the globe prepping for right now? It should be the question. There are militaries of each of these governments that are doing the same exact kind of exercises all over. They're unprecedented. You have the United States creating all of these exercises that I don't think anybody out there could ever say that they've ever seen any kind of exercises happening the way that they're going on. Operation Jade Helm.
And
Operation
what
Raider Focus.
What other governments?
Oh, you have the Netherlands. You have over in Eastern Europe, or when you talk about Lithuania, Poland, all of them doing these mass exercises.
We've only got about a minute and a half left, Professor Doom. But what do you think it all means? To summarize what you're talking about here.
Well, to summarize, I think something very huge is coming. And I think that if they were to come out and tell us, it would cause a huge panic. And you would have people actually going out there thinking it's going to be the last moments possibly, and they might go out there and do something stupid. Do you really just think about the movie Deep Impact? If the president would have came out and told everybody, and everybody would have started acting a fool and killing each other and acting like stupid, well, then you've actually pretty much destroyed your country before you even know what the final results were going to be. You know what I mean? So I think they're taking,
Yeah, and in the last 30 seconds, when do you think this catastrophic thing is going to happen, if you were to give a date and time?
If I were to give a date and time, I would like to say that it's going to be in the next couple months. A lot of people seem to be focused on the September 23rd to the 28th. And that's quite possible. And, they raised some good case for that. But I cannot say 100% that is how it's going to play out. I just don't know.
Okay. That's Professor Doom. Now, Professor Doom, real quickly, how do people go and find you on YouTube to see your videos, which you're quite prolific at posting, and you've got a huge following? And thank you for all the followers of you who also are listening to this interview, and thank you for interviewing with me. How do they reach you on YouTube?
Come to YouTube. You can find me at Professor Space Doom 1 and my backup channel, Professor Space Doom 2. Subscribe and keep abreast of my videos. And come check out all the other people out there that are putting in some very, very fine work, too, please.
Professor Doom, thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you on Drive Time with the Poor Man. Have a great day, my friend.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And when we come back, it'll be time for Hater Bro!
If you'd like to talk to the Poor Man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the Poor Man coming up. Hey everybody, I'm Pat Matthews, Mr. Announcer here on The Poor Man Show, and I'd like to let you know about my services. If you're in the need for voice work, whether it be for commercials, narrations, or even having your personal or business voicemail professionally done, I'm the guy. I promise quick turnaround and great rates. check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/Pat Matthews Productions, and that's Matthews with 2 T's, or email me at patmatthews@cox.net. I'd love to work with you. Thanks for your time, and you have a great day. Have a question or a comment? Be sure to tweet the Poor Man at PoorMan1. That's the Twitter account. So tweet the Poor Man, and better yet, follow the Poor Man on Twitter at PoorMan1.
Too many men are wimps.
Linda Gross loves men. Bet that got your attention. Linda is a men's advocate who has helped many men get their balls back. And she can help you. Her proven coaching techniques will skyrocket your confidence and boost you into action in 4 sessions or less. Stop being stupid with girls, in business, or dump a lifelong problem. Go to themensadvocate.com or email Linda info@themensadvocate.com. Mention the Poor Man Show and get 15 minutes free. Also, pick up Linda's book, Mastering Women, on Amazon. Get the straight talk from the woman who knows.
And we are back here at Drive Time with the Poor Man. We got some calls here at 888-909-1050. Let's go to the phones and bring up Steve from Irvine. Steve.
Poor Man, my friend. How's it going, dude?
Good. How are you, my friend?
Good. I'm gearing up, dude. Side note, Kings are starting their training camp tomorrow, so I'll be down there tomorrow morning at Toyota Sports Center to see the beginning of that.
Yeah, they deported Slava Voinov, or he deported himself, right? The guy who beat up his wife?
Yeah, technically, I guess it's considered a self-depart, but
wow.
Self-depart, it's the same thing.
Yeah, we're Steve and I are both huge LA Kings fans, and we met at a benefit for Steve Rabwin. I think that's how you pronounce it. His son Tanner died because he couldn't find a bone marrow donor, and so they do a lot of fundraisers to find bone marrow matches. And I'm honored anytime I can help causes, even though people probably are surprised when I say something like that. So, what's on your mind today?
Oh, nothing, man. You were talking yesterday about that whole hater bro thing, and honestly, you know, when I joined some of those social stuff on Facebook, because I'm pretty active, I have my own social media group for the Kings and things like that. But I was just kind of interested in what they had to say, and I thought it was like constructive stuff about you. But I you know, entirely, both those groups are just loaded with nothing but haterade. I don't even know who you could necessarily pick individually for your segment, but you might as well just lump them all into one big category.
Well, you know what? Kick back in your easy chair, listen to your radio, because Steve, I now present to you another edition of Hater Bro. Hit it, guy!
It's time for another edition of Hater Bro, a segment dedicated to the worthless humans, the losers who spend all their entire day hating on me, the Poor Man. 24/7, all they do is hate, 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 because they are losers. And so here we go. It's time for Hater Bro.
Now, I have an admission to make here. This is actually maybe my own hang-up and my own insecurity that I bring this on Hater Bro, because there are 2 people that work at the radio station I work for, and they are so much better on the radio than I ever could hope to be. I'm so sincere about this. And whenever I hear either of these 2 people, I get jealous, because I just don't think there's any way I could possibly be this good. And let me bring on the 2 subjects of Hater Bro for today. And again, I think that they're right. I think I'm being the hater. So first of all, the first person, who I just think is a brilliant broadcaster and just a natural and so much better than I ever could hope to be, and he's just phenomenal on the air, and I kind of accidentally put him on for the first time. I want you to hear this magnificent piece of beautiful radio from the drunk.
And then the police showed up over at my house after they brought me home. They're doing an investigation that the police did me dirty because I was being nice. We'll follow this up, but look, I had nothing. I mean, I was like at the fire station. Brad Bukater, whatever he says, I was trying to be nice. And then all of a sudden, the police came and they threw me to the ground saying I'm a crazy guy. Anyway. Oh my gosh. It's like I'll send you some pictures of my screwed, they threw me to the ground, my screwed up knee and my oh, it's so horrible.
You know, I'm sorry I paused there for a moment, but I have tears welling out of my eyes. That is just so beautiful. That is such a brilliant piece of radio. Every time I hear that, and the great thing is the drunk has his own show, and it's so much better than anything I could do. And that's why I think if people hate on me all the time, I deserve this so much. That was so good what I just heard. It was so emotional, and I just wish I could be that way. Now, the other person starring in this edition of Hater Bro, and believe me, it's not about them being hated on, it's me, is the other person who's just tremendous on the radio, just tremendous. It's the backstabbing surf reporter. Listen to how incredible this is. There's an intro here, and then you'll hear him on the phone, and he takes a phone conversation. I might even say he could be better than the drunk. The backstabbing surf reporter. Listen to this. This is just phenomenal.
Here we go.
Surf's up, and it's time for the Surf City Beach Report with Huntington Henry.
Hey, thanks, Pat Matthews. Poorman, glad to see you back on Ustream and Guy Rice. I'm here at my Henry Surf Showcase YouTube channel headquarters at Huntington Beach. Wow, what a busy weekend, and it looks like it's going to continue throughout this week. Mid-80s on the sand, sunny and hot. A few upper 80s. We do have some of those high clouds starting to move in a little bit from a south and east direction. Now let's get into it with a new world famous Poor Man show at a new prime time by popular demand. Poor Man, give it to us.
Oh, give it to me. Oh, that was great. It's so uplifting. Now, there's one other person that stars in this particular episode of Hater Bro, and it is Mr. Announcer, who I call Slick, because he needs to be hated on horribly himself. And so here's the other person in this edition of Hater Bro, which actually is going to go 2 segments. So here's the other star.
Girls Gone Wild goes on the prowl in a limo looking for hot girls who are down for mobile fun. This cutie won't be alone for long. If you think this is hot, check out what happens next.
All right, so stay tuned. When we come back, we will conclude Hater Bro and tell you exactly what happened. And again, I have nothing but the utmost respect for people that are way better than I ever could hope to be on the radio. As we continue with Drive Time with the Poor Man, and I really think the drunk or the backstabbing surf reporter are better to have this slot than I could ever hope to.
When was the last time you treated your taste buds to a party they won't forget? Now's the time with Stella Rosa Prosecco, the bubbly, intense, flavorful, and delicious sparkling white wine. Stella Rosa has edged out the imitators, becoming the sparkling queen of the party. So get to your local fine retailer and find out for yourself what all the fuss is about. You'll be more than satisfied with selecting the best in sparkling wines. Get the party started and celebrate. You'll be glad you did.
If you'd like to talk to the Poor Man, give him a call at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. More of the Poor Man coming up. Hey everybody, I'm Pat Matthews, Mr. Announcer here on the Poor Man Show, and I'd like to let you know about my services. If you're in the need for voice work, whether it be for commercials, narrations, or even having your personal or business voicemail professionally done, I'm the guy. I promise quick turnaround and great rates. Check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/Pat Matthews Productions, and that's Matthews with 2 T's. Or email me at patmatthews@cox.net. I'd love to work with you. Thanks for your time, and you have a great day. Have a question or a comment? Be sure to tweet the Poor Man at PoorMan1. That's the Twitter account. So tweet the Poor Man, and better yet, follow the Poor Man on Twitter at PoorMan1.
Okay, we are back here with Drive Time with the Poor Man. We started out with Professor Doom for a couple of segments, who claimed that the shooting in Roanoke, Virginia, of the reporter and her cameraman was actually never happened. And it went to the Pentagon with the 9/11 plane flying into the Pentagon and quite a few other things. And that's at Professor Doom's YouTube channel. And now it's gone on to Hater Bro, which has taken up just as much time. Hater Bro, of course, is the celebration of people that hate on me because they're so right. And today's edition, we haven't really gotten to why they're part of the Hater Bro. It's taking 2 segments, but it stars the drunk, who you just heard, who's tremendous on the radio. I mean, he is so natural and so much better than I ever could hope to be. I mean, I listen to him and I'm internally raging with jealousy because he should have this show. The other one is the backstabbing surf reporter, who also is just terrific. Now, the backstabbing surf reporter, if you heard the commentary right before the break, he was praising me and my new time slot, which I really appreciated, about how it's so great that I'm on afternoon drive now. And so, but yet 2 days ago, he informed me that, he's a sponsor and was, paying for a surf report that he could take his minute and a half and put sponsors in there and charge them. And anyway, so he told me he ran out of money. And I said, well, you can stay on and then just pay me in a couple of weeks because I'm in New York and I won't be back in California. So he said, I can't do it. And then all of a sudden I'm reading on Facebook how the backstabbing surf reporter is saying how horrible I am, how the new format sucks. And, here he is praising it a week earlier. And it was so weird. Late last night, this is where the drunk comes in. The backstabbing surf reporter drove to the drunk's house from Huntington Beach to Fullerton, which is about 50 miles, with cash. And I was going, whoa, what went down? And he went to the drunk's house with the drunk's aging mom, who's taken care of by the drunk, who's drunk every time I've seen him. He gives him cash to go on the drunk show and do the surf report, when he told me he was out of money. Now, the weird thing is, at this radio station, if you take somebody else's sponsor, you're not supposed to do that because Mr. Announcer, who did that Girls Gone Wild commercial, apparently took the drunk sponsor, and the drunk raised a big ruckus about it. And so now, Mr. Announcer doesn't do any more announcements at the station. But the drunk can take the other guy's sponsor when it's me. And I understand that because the drunk does a great radio show and mine sucks. And the same with the backstabbing surf reporter. I would rather be on the drunk show too. And to tell me that you're out of money, I get it because the drunk is so much better. And if you gave him some cash at midnight and stayed till 3 a.m., who knows what went down. I'm glad that you invested your cash in the right way. And I give you the blessing. And as far as Mr. Announcer taking your buy, sell, offer, make, whatever it is, and who came to Mr. Announcer and said, we just want you to do our media buying for us, not to make him, to put that commercial on somebody else's station, just to do media buying. I get it because Mr. Announcer, who is my producer, is terrible as an announcer, and he should have never touched the drunk sponsor. But the drunk and the backstabbing surfer. By the way, the drunk, I got to tell you, the backstabbing surf reporter has told me on numerous occasions that he doesn't think you're very good at all on the radio. And he says he can hardly listen to your show. So obviously he probably just said it to make me feel good because he just brought you cash in the middle of the night. I get it all the way. I do really suck. And I think the backstabbing surf reporter who blasted me and how horrible my show is was absolutely right to do that, especially since I didn't put him on the air to do his surf report for free, because I should have, because I should understand to have that talent on here. I should run my radio show as a charity. And that's why I'm amazed that the drunk was able to get the backstabbing surf reporter to give him money when he supposedly didn't have it. Anyway, it's all confusing. But the bottom line is I'm very happy because I think it's great. Don't get me wrong. When people are better than you, regardless of what happens, you got to accept the fact that life is tough. Deal with it. So, for everybody that hates on me, I think I deserve it. For Mr. Announcer, how dare you take the very best broadcaster's sponsor who asks you to place their media on other stations and talk to them when it's amazing when they're saying that the drunk is calling that sponsor in the middle of the night all the time because he's so blasted. Look, the drunk, whether he's drunk or sober, is great. If he calls a sponsor at 3 a.m. and wakes him up and makes the sponsor say, "What's going on?" he's a great broadcaster. And the same with the backstabbing surf reporter. So that's today's Hater Bro. And when we come back, Laws of the Absurd. We go from the radio station of the absurd to the Laws of the Absurd with attorney Michael Brown.
Are you starting a business, incorporating, or forming an LLC? Do you have a business but need legal review of contracts or have other legal needs? If so, then please contact attorney Michael Brown. Michael has over 20 years' experience advising small and medium businesses to be successful and avoid costly litigation. Initial consultations are always free. Please contact us at 949-636-8128 or by visiting us at mwb-law.net.
Okay, everybody, I have a major announcement. It's going to be another infamous, crazy, wild Poor Man Party. Friday night, October 2nd. Mark that down on your calendar in the city of Anaheim at Felipe's Bar and Grill, the first ever Poor Man's Pool Party. Yes, this is all going to be going down, an indoor pool party, bikinis, craziness, wildness, water, drinks, DJs, everything's going to be happening, and everybody is invited. I'm totally stoked, totally excited. The owner, Phil, you thought of this? How did you come up with this incredible idea?
It was a brainchild of mine for a little while.
Friday night, October 2nd, Felipe's Bar and Grill, 2751 West Lincoln Avenue in Anaheim. We will see you there.
I want everybody to come having a great time with me and the Poor Man.
And now it's time for Laws of the Absurd, the craziest laws in the USA. Here's attorney Michael Brown and the Poor Man.
Michael!
Hey, Poor Man, how are you?
Listen, I would like to invite you to go to the best broadcaster on the station, The Drunk, and take your business elsewhere. Will you please do that?
Oh, I don't know. I just, I'm one of those loyal guys that, just can't do that.
I think rating other people's sponsors is cool. I do. And I think backstabbing is cool too. I really do. That, especially when you're better. Don't you agree? You got to admit. Come on, Michael.
Well, if you're better, yes, it's all justified then.
Right. Hey, I got a question for you before we go to Laws of the Absurd. With blogs and Facebook pages that mention my name on them, do they have a right to put my name on there? You're an attorney. I'm just curious. Not that I'd ever want to remove because they're so.
Well, it depends. If it's done in a newsworthy fashion, it is. If it's done in a commercial fashion, in other words, to generate revenue of some sort, no, they can't profit from the use of your name.
How would you say it's done with the way that that my name is used on these blogs? I mean, even though it's well deserved, but what would you say?
Well, to some extent, I would say it's getting awful close to defamatory.
So if I was to say, again, I don't want to take my name off anything because, boy, I'll tell you what, my career is so in the gutter. I need all the help I can get. But just in case, I thought, well, I'll take a break from it. And I asked, what do you think would happen?
Knowing the characters involved, I would be surprised if they were willing to comply. I would fully expect them to basically lambaste you for even suggesting that your name be removed.
And if I wanted it to be removed,
you could probably
legally
reach out
do that?
to the social blog owner and say they're utilizing or using my name, image, discussing me without my permission. I find this to be hostile, and please shut them down.
And could I get damages? Could I make money from this, possibly?
Well, possibly, of course.
No, I would never do that. I would never want money. I would never want to take a blog down. Because it's so, everything on there is wonderful. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you decide, let me know.
Okay. So, take it down, you guys. You have one day. Okay, so now it's, and you heard that, my attorney, you heard what I just said, right?
Absolutely. We got it on record.
Yes, only because I love what with my name being associated with it, but, we'll just for a day, let's mix it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't particularly think it's a positive thing that even though they're speaking of you in a derogatory format, that they're using you as a topic to attract other listeners, sponsors, etc.
Well,
even if it's in a negative fashion.
I have seen a few sponsors blasted, but then I think the sponsors deserve that, don't you?
As a sponsor, no. I firmly object to that.
Come on, Mike.
I know. No sense
Come
of humor.
on. Michael Brown is a business attorney, and of course, he'd love to get blasted in every single blog. I mean, it makes him more colorful as a business lawyer, right?
Well, having been a lawyer for close to 30 years, trust me, I'm very familiar with and used to constantly being insulted, blasted, name dragged through the mud, etc.
All right. Well, listen, let's get right to your laws of the absurd. Do we have this jingle ready, Di?
We already played that.
Oh, we did? I've just been wasting time. Okay. All right, let's play it one more time and we'll get right into it. Go for it.
Well, I'm setting up for the top of the hour. You got to give me a second.
All right,
okay,
never
we
mind.
go. Here we go.
Okay.
And now it's time for Laws of the Absurd. The craziest laws in the USA. Here's attorney Michael Brown and the Poor Man.
And what do we have today, Michael?
Well, today we're going down south to Mississippi. You may remember an old Tennessee law which prohibited a teacher from teaching evolution in the classroom. It was the subject of the Scopes or monkey trial back in the early 1900s. Well, Mississippi has one even better than that that is still enforceable as a crime. As you know, in all 50 states, polygamy is illegal, and polygamy is being married to more than one person. Well, in Mississippi, they've taken it to one step further, and it is now illegal and considered a crime against public morals and decency for one person to teach another person about the doctrines, principles, or tenets of polygamy. So, does that mean that if you try and teach your child or teach someone else that polygamy is wrong, and thus you have to describe it, you have now violated the law?
Has anybody been prosecuted for that?
No. I have searched high and low. I assumed that, somewhere, some teacher would have been dinged on that, or possibly some Mormon missionary who may have been riding his or her bike through Mississippi might have been dinged for it. But I have not been able to find any arrest record or criminal conviction which shows that they are actively enforcing this. Now, if you are convicted, you can be fined no less than $20 or $25 and no more than $500. And it's possible they can put you in jail for not less than 1 month, no more than 6 months, which basically qualifies it as a misdemeanor. So it's highly unlikely that those actually go to trial or someone actually is convicted. It's probably pled out to a citation or some monetary fine, which is why there probably isn't a record of it.
That is an absurd law. Just real quickly before you get to the next one, what is the legal age for having sex in Mississippi? Is that one of the 14-year-old states? Do you know?
Well, the thing is it's one of those crazy things. I'm not that familiar with Mississippi, but in most states, the legal consent for sex is 18 unless you're married. And in most states, you can get parental consent at 16 or above. Some states, and I believe Mississippi may still be one, you can actually be 14 and above.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the next law of the absurd?
Well, now we're going to go up to New Jersey, where, they sometimes do have crime. But, committing a dangerous crime has become more dangerous for the criminal. Under a statute in New Jersey, it's unlawful for a person if he uses or wears a body vest while committing or attempting to commit heinous crimes such as murder, manslaughter, robbery, sexual assault, burglary, etc. So if you are wearing your vest, like a bulletproof vest, it actually raises the crime to the next level. So in other words, if you had not worn a bulletproof vest, you would be convicted of second-degree murder. But if you are wearing a bulletproof vest, you now are facing first-degree murder charges.
And do you know of situations where that's been enforced?
Yes, that actually, they add that on to charges to people who have been charged with armed robbery, murder, whatever it is. And they actually, I've seen the jury instructions, etc., and this is very active. But here's what is sort of absurd to me as a lawyer and maybe as a layperson, is that if you're going to be committing a heinous crime like that, are you really going to say, gee, I better not wear this bulletproof vest
right?
Because if I do, I might go to jail for a few years more. But if I don't, the police could shoot me, the victim could shoot me, and I'll be dead. So I'm not sure if this law really has the intended effect of deterring people from wearing bulletproof vests while they commit a crime.
Okay, we have 1 minute left, Michael. Your last law of the absurd.
Okay, this will be a real quickie, and this is going out to that special person, Caitlyn Jenner. Since 1959 in the city of Walnut, no man or boy can dress as a girl or a woman without a permit from the sheriff.
Really? And has that been enforced?
Again, I could not find a single incident. I have a suspicion that many have probably been arrested but not prosecuted, especially if you happen to find someone, a male, in a female's restroom or something of that nature.
So, Caitlyn
but it
Jenner,
is interesting that it's only prohibits a man or a boy dressing as a girl and not the opposite.
Okay, and that's in Walnut, California. Michael Brown, attorney. If you need any business law expertise, and today I was talking to him about a lot of stuff, go to here's his phone number, 949-636-8128. And what's your website?
www.mwb-law.net.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Take care, poor man.
Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of buysellmakeoffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
I'm Tom Busby, CNBC Radio. The Dow ending lower today, giving up some early gains as investors try to digest the latest move from the Federal Reserve, which put off an interest rate hike, at least for now, on worries about weak economies around the